Thank you, Cahirlach, and welcome to Minister Pippa Hackett here today. Minister, I know we're quite close in location as well. We're not that far apart, so I think you're very conscious of the serious concerns around this particular topic. Minister, there's a forestry company, that people are employed working in Ballinasloe, and they're struggling. They're dealing with farmers, they're dealing with their clients, and what can they do? They're stuck in no man's land. And it's been going on like this. I met with them during the year, I met with them last year as well, and we've raised this, and raised it as well in a number of different fora. It is good to hear that the number of ecologists that have been recruited, that there's a higher number. I think you've mentioned 20 or 27. That are dealing solely with the backlog, and I appreciate the measures you've put in place to deal with the appeals, and that the appeals have been reduced now to 30, I think, from a high of 1,000. That's all very positive, and it shows that you're taking measures to reduce the current backlogs. However, the recruitment of ecologists seem to be seem to be very hard to find on the ground these days. What are we doing to increase the number of ecologists that will be available? What sort of courses are out there? How are we driving, particularly I suppose from the apprenticeship and further and higher education side, what basic degrees or diplomas could be used as a launch pad to get into a career in ecology? I think we do need to increase the number of ecologists that are out there. I suppose I find it frustrating. I know, looking just at a Farmers Journal's article back from September, they just talked about numbers of licences, and I know there's been obviously the Habitats Directive and so on since then, but they looked at highs in 2016 of roughly over 6,500 licences been granted, and then compared it to 2020, and roughly only 1,700. And I know that the Minister as well has commented, Minister McConalogue, on the consultation period, of course, that 30 days is, it's causing disruption to this process. But it sounds like there's, from when the application is submitted, is there a measure there that needs to be done with people who are applying, that they have to be reminded or that it's applied for 6 months in advance? I mean, it's absolutely shocking. How do we manage that better? And is it a case that we need more ecologists? Does there need to be streamlining within the department in terms of how the process is handled? Are we being proactive in communicating with people who are submitting applications in relation to the lengths of time that this is going to take? I know my colleagues here have mentioned, and Senator Daly as well, just around the streamlining of the process, that there are a number of planning permissions. This has been brought up with me over and over again. I've attended IFA meetings in Galway recently in Athenry, huge numbers there, and what comes up over and over again, along with the CAP and other concerns that farmers have, it comes up about forestry and what are we doing about it. We are working together in government, and I know that we have a lot of goals to achieve and objectives to achieve, and there's ways that we're going to be doing that over the coming time. But I suppose this is something that is knocking on our doors all the time, and we're going to attend these meetings. This is what's cropping up, and we're responding, I suppose, to the concerns for farmers on this. I appreciate, I suppose, just some of the other points I wanted to mention was just you mentioned as well, about how we can use wood more, like in terms of construction and so on. I think that was in your opening statement. I don't have a copy of the opening statement, so I heard it, sorry, just when you were speaking, but I don't have a reference copy here. But I know that it is important that we're seeing about how we use timber in different ways, but I think the concern right now is that even the ways we use timber right now, we can't get timber, so I think that this is quite positive, maybe aspirational, but I think we really need to deal with the immediate demands right now when it comes to timber. I suppose, Minister, if I might ask you, what are the plans around the streamlining and potential legislation to streamlining the planning permissions for both the road building, from the planting to the harvesting? How and what are our strategies around that? I think that's going to be crucial to really showing that we're going to make a difference to this huge challenges that I know that in some ways you've inherited, but that we have to resolve, and it's on our watch. I suppose just to say, Gurmil Mohagat, and thank you for your time.